Hello and welcome to episode number 12 of Blueprint, our video blog and podcast for responsible manufacturing. My name is Björn, I'm the head of sustainability at EOS, and I'm more than happy to welcome you to this very special episode. In the last 11 episodes, I've invited a wide range of experts and colleagues from all over the industry. We have heard exciting sustainability stories from customers, from their applications, from their innovative applications and their initiatives. We've broadened our perspectives with insights from organizations like the AMGTA or research institutes like Fraunhofer. I've welcomed startups and multinational companies alike, all aligned in their strong commitment to sustainability and additive manufacturing. And whenever there was something new or groundbreaking to share, I've invited my colleagues to join the conversation. Today, the spotlight is inward. In this episode, which has two parts, we will talk about EOS. We'll talk about the purpose, our climate strategy, the actions to reach our sustainability targets, how all of this helps our customers, and how we accelerate the transition towards responsible manufacturing. And who better to kick off this episode than our CEO and shareholder, Marie Lange. Marie, thank you for joining us, for joining Blueprint, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Björn. I'm super excited to participate in this episode of Blueprint.
Marie, it's probably fair to say that everyone in our industry knows you, and you're recognized not only for your dedication to innovation and customer success and generally shaping a brighter future for the additive industry, but also for your strong commitment, your deep commitment to sustainability and responsibility. And you've constantly championed the idea that a strong financial performance can and should go hand in hand with positive impact on the environment and society. So the logical first question, of course, is what inspires you, what drives you to this mission?
So from day one, it was super important for me to bring two things together: long-term business success and meaningful impact. And that's why we focus at EOS to embed sustainability and responsible business practices into our business model to really create scalable and future-proof products that contribute to lower emissions. And I strongly believe that companies who look at their long-term strategy, also in regards to sustainability, with innovation, they will create a mindset to be more successful in the longer run. And this is the type of leadership and responsibility I am bringing to EOS.
Mm-hmm. And that's very inspiring indeed. And from your perspective, are we there yet?
So we did a lot. We made a lot of progress, but no, we're not there yet. I would say we created a great foundation. We have a climate strategy. We measure within the company a lot of things, so to actually get the data, to calculate our emissions. We also, over the course of the years, bit by bit, developed a portfolio of, we call it responsible products, with whom we help our customers to reduce their emissions. And this all together is actually really part of the journey towards responsible manufacturing. I don't believe it's only about something you can take off. So sustainability is not just something you achieve, it's a journey we're all in together, and I'm really excited about every day.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic, and I'm also very excited to be part of that. You mentioned responsibility, and it's called responsible manufacturing. So there was a dedicated choice to call it responsible manufacturing and not sustainable manufacturing, for example. Can you share what was the thinking behind that?
Yes, of course. So Sustainability, or also our ecological footprint, is of course a major part in our climate strategy, but it's not all. It's one dimension. We also look at social impact, we look at responsible business practices, and of course we look at financial viability, also long term. So for us it was important to look at this more holistically, and we believe strongly that responsible manufacturing, and to get there, is about mindset shift. It's about behavior. It's about our decision every day, and the actions we're taking day by day. So that's why we believe responsible manufacturing is capturing more what we want to do at EOS.
So if you look 5 years into the future, what do you think? Where are we in terms of sustainability and additive? What are the developments you expect or maybe also hope to see?
So in general, I strongly believe that there will be a pivotal shift within the next years towards more responsible and sustainable business practices. So it will not only be a nice to have, but it will be a license operate. And we even want to go one step ahead and make a strategic advantage for us out of it, because we really believe that there are a lot of products who can help our customers to actually really create a more sustainable and responsible industrial landscape. We will not be able to achieve that alone. I really believe that collaboration will be the key, and partnerships with customers, but also policy makers and other partners around the industry will be important to make that happen. So really looking forward to these collaborations getting even stronger moving forward.
Thank you for that vision and sharing that. Let's hope that this will become a reality. And thank you for your dedication to responsible manufacturing, Marie, and for taking your time to be with us in Blueprint. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just heard about Marie's ideas and vision, how responsible manufacturing is embedded in everything we do, from product development to applications and customer value. We're using additive manufacturing to drive sustainability efforts forward. But how do we come from a strategic vision to practical implementation and customer value? That's exactly what we want to explore in these two parts of this episode. We will examine how EOS's purpose is being brought to life through business activities and how that translates into concrete benefits for our customers. As you heard, our journey begins with the purpose. That's the basic principle behind everything we do. And to turn that into impact, we need clear and actionable targets, goals. And that's why we're talking next to our Chief Financial Officer. Why the CFO? Well, CFOs are experts in translating ambitions into numbers, concrete, measurable objectives, and ensuring accountability throughout the organization. Finally, we will explore the data behind all these sustainability efforts. We will learn from a colleague how life cycle assessments are conducted, and we will talk to the Additive Minds team how they will use this data to power the EOS carbon calculator and how this makes it even smarter and more beneficial for our customers with every new LCA. Welcome, Florian. Thanks for joining us for Blueprint. And we're really happy to have you here, and you're taking the time to discuss some important topics with us today. But before we start, please introduce yourself shortly.
Thank you, Björn, for inviting me. I'm the CFO of EOS, and I'm also responsible for the broader group.
Okay, that's indeed a very important role for the company and for the group, especially when it comes to numbers and targets. And that's why we thought you're the ideal person to talk to when it comes to our climate strategy and our science-based targets. To begin with, what is the Science-Based Target Initiative?
The Science-Based Targets Initiatives, or how we call it the SBTI, helps companies to set emission reduction goals that are in line with the climate science and the Paris Agreement. These targets ensure that companies take on measurable and credible measures to limit global warming. Setting science-based targets also enhances data transparency, builds investor confidence, and prepares companies for future regulatory requirements.
So that's a very powerful and important framework. And we at EOS, we just recently published our science-based targets. Can you share with us what are those targets?
Certainly. EOS has committed to both short-term and long-term goals. By 2030, we aim to reduce Scope 1 and Scope 2 by 42% and Scope 3 by 25%. And this is all relative to our financial year 21-22. For our net zero target, we're aiming for 90% emission reduction. This means for Scope 1 and Scope 2 by 2040 and for Scope 3, 2045.
Okay, that sounds very ambitious and also aligned with our purpose of responsible manufacturing. Now, the question is, how do we come to those numbers? How do we know where we stand today in terms of our carbon footprint?
We've established a cross-functional team from our colleagues from the finance department and our sustainability team. These two basically work closely together, but they are also working closely together with a lot of stakeholders across the organization to calculate our carbon footprint. And this isn't just for EOS Germany and EOS globally, it's also including the entire group of EOS, considering companies like AMCM and KVS.
So this is a major effort, what we're doing here, which is only possible thanks to all the colleagues involved. So big thank you to all of them. Now, maybe the most important question in this regard is, how do we plan to actually achieve these targets that you just mentioned? Can you give us a few examples?
It gives us the transparency that we need to take the right measures in the right areas. Some of the initiatives we have taken on are things like the electrification of our company fleet. This initiative, for instance, does not only lower our emissions, but it also lowers our costs. So this is something I personally, as a CFO, of course, appreciate. We are also working on transitioning our global sites to renewable energy. In Germany, we already use green energy to 100%, and now we expand this approach to our global sites. For example, we have installed a solar system in Texas, and we are now planning to scale further.
That's fantastic. And what you just mentioned, the company car fleet and the renewable energies throughout all sites globally, those are measures for Scope 1 and 2. And just for our viewers again, Scope 1 includes direct emissions from sources we have under our direct control. And Scope 2 emissions cover those from purchased electricity. The biggest challenge lies in Scope 3. Those emissions come from our value chain, so upstream and downstream. Do we have any plans to do anything in this area?
This is actually even more complex, touching on Scope 3. And at the moment, I cannot be too specific at the topic, but at the moment we have a few ideas how to reduce our emissions when it comes to Scope 3, but I can tell you it's much more complex. At the moment we are exploring actively a few ways how to reduce in looking at our entire value chain. But as you can imagine, this is not that easy.
So that means EOS is actively investing into climate protection.
Definitely. As we believe in a product portfolio with a much lower carbon footprint, and also believe that this is going to be of high interest for our future customers.
And already last question, Florian, what do you think from your perspective? What are the biggest challenges, but maybe also benefits or opportunities in this journey?
One of the biggest challenges is the limited data and getting the right data, in particular across the entire value chain. So it's not only our data, it's also the data of our suppliers, etc. And on top of that, there is also a high need for more exploration on the right data, like, for example, green steel, etc. So what is the impact for our carbon accounting calculation? But the benefits, they are significant. In Europe, meeting these regulatory requirements help us to maintain our license to operate. But even more important, with regards to our purpose, responsible manufacturing, we are investing into our license to grow by meeting customer requirements and also leading our industry into the new era. Overall, we are reducing emissions, we are improving efficiency, We are working on our data transparency. And finally, we are proactively managing our risks that arise.
Thank you, Florian. That sounds ambitious and very interesting. Thank you for your time and sharing those insights with us. And of course, thank you for your support for this topic and for this journey. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
And with that, viewpoints from the C-level, we're wrapping up the first part of this episode. Stay tuned for the second part, where we talk about how we turn our climate strategy into customer value and explore the path from data to impact with life cycle assessments and our carbon calculator.